I know that, and as you know, as everyone knows, if there is in fact a government shutdown, people will get furloughed. Hundreds of thousands of government workers will get furloughed. They will go without pay, including members of the military. A lot of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and when you live paycheck to
Right.
paycheck, I lived paycheck to paycheck for years, and I'm sure that in people's minds, they don't really care who's to blame here. What they want is a paycheck. They want to make sure that they can keep a roof over their head, they can feed their families, they can pay to live. What do you say to those Americans?
I say that they should urge their Republican member of Congress to come back to Washington and sit down at the negotiating table so that we can get a spending deal done that eliminates these healthcare cuts, that ensures that we can lower healthcare costs and save Americans' healthcare. That is a dire situation that if we don't do that, then you're going to have millions and millions more people who will be living not just paycheck to paycheck, but who will be having to start making extremely difficult choices. You'll see hospitals start closing. There was in at Jackson South in Miami, they actually just closed their maternity ward because they know that with the cuts coming, they won't be able to afford to keep it open, and patients are going to have to travel much further distances to be able to deliver babies in Miami, which is a large metropolitan area. In rural areas, it's going to be even worse. These are all Republican inflicted problems that are totally unnecessary, and we need to sit down and work these out.
Senator Josh Hawley is one Republican that has been vocal on wanting to work with Democrats in this area. But he did say this to CNN: I don't understand what shutting down government has to do with that. My message to them, Democrats, is like, hey, I will work with you on all of those things. I think there's a lot of common ground, but let's leave the government funding out of it. Do you see his point or agree with him at all that, hey, let's keep the government open and working so people can keep having their jobs and we can hash this out in 7 or so weeks?
I'm glad to hear that Josh Hawley is willing to have a conversation. We need to have that conversation right now. Those premium increases, healthcare costs are going to start going up tomorrow. Those notices go out starting tomorrow. We don't have 7 weeks, and we can't trust Donald Trump to actually keep his word. His response to Democrats when as we've been insisting on making sure that we can eliminate the cuts and save people's health care and reduce their healthcare costs, was to not just say he would furlough federal employees, but that he asked every federal agency to draw up lists of federal workers who they're threatening to permanently fire. Even though they've already done that during Doge, and they've had to bring hundreds of thousands back because they know they can't run the government without them. This is an administration and a Republican leadership that does not care about the plight of the average working family who needs to be able to go to the doctor and pay their rent and put groceries in the refrigerator and deal with the everyday skyrocketing costs that are increasing because of Republicans. And they aren't even here to sit down and hash this out with us. We don't have 7 weeks. We need to do it right now.